Can you hear that?
Yeah.
At last, my love has come along. My lonely days are over, and life is like a song. At last, skies above my blue.
She jamming.
I'm all wrapped up in clover.
Wrap it up.
Now that I found you, I found a dream.
Three words come to my mind about this beautiful woman. Legendary jazz singer. Barbara Morrison. Barbara Morrison, hello.
Oh, hello. How are you?
I am good. I am good. I mean, it's a blessing to have you here again, and it was great to have you here for the Catalina festival that we had.
Oh, David, that was wonderful. I love Jane Moonlight.
Oh, well, it was great. She's just a doll, and she came the other day, actually, and spent another half an hour with us, too.
Oh,
It's
nice.
a blessing. So it's a blessing to have you here. I mean, whenever I hear your music, the hairs stand up on my arms and wherever else. I mean,
a compliment.
what? Yeah, I tell you. Well, we have a couple of students here today. Students, singers, performers, and they're here to ask you questions, and I'm gonna jump in too because I absolutely adore you. And here they come. Here they come. We have, let's see, Devon Morgan, and we also have Dion Borden.
Hey.
Hey, everybody, Barbara Morrison.
Nice to see you.
How are you?
Fine, and you?
Great.
Good. It's nice to see both of you.
Yeah.
You too.
We were listening. Dion and I were listening to At Last before you got here, and we were going, oh my God. It was just like pure heaven.
I had a chance to sing at Carnegie Hall with Etta James. And on my way to Europe, and you know how they always talk about the acoustics in Carnegie Hall?
Yes.
So when she went on stage, I went all the way to the back of the building, and I just cried like a baby. You could hear a pin drop. And what they say about it is true. And then when I got on the plane, guess what?
What?
I sat next to a gentleman from Dunfermline. And guess where Carnegie was from? I was going to Scotland. Carnegie is Carnegie is from Dunfermline. And I got a chance, and I looked on my itinerary, and I was going to Dunfermline. So I got a chance to perform in the original Carnegie Hall.
Oh my God.
In Dunfermline, Scotland.
That's beautiful.
You know, and I read that you were in Carnegie Hall, and that was something I had been dying to ask, and you just, it's interesting how you said how you saw where he was going to and you were going there. It's interesting how life takes you to certain
I know. It was on my itinerary. We toured the whole island and of Scotland. And then we ended up in Dunfermline. And it was no bigger than my place here in Los Angeles. And so I said, I'm going to open up me a Carnegie Hall.
Is that what sort of like spurred you to open up your own place?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love it.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah,
I love it.
Dion. Now you're
And-
next.
Oh, that's right. That's right. Now you have open mics there when we're out of quarantine. You have open mics.
Yes, we do. We have what we call Ellis Pub. Every Monday night, we salute Ella Fitzgerald and the people that turned 100 years old. For 2017, the whole year we honored Nat King Cole because he turned 100. In 2015, Billie Holiday turned 100. We just to give everybody a turn, and we dedicate the whole night to Ella Fitzgerald and the songs that she sang. Hey, Morgan.
Oh, wow.
And that's what I call music.
Yeah. You'd be surprised at the little jewels people come up with, songs you never heard before. That Ella and Billy and Nat, Frank Sinatra and all those guys. All of them were born on the 12th of December.
Really?
Oh, wow.
Joe Williams, remember Joe Williams?
Yeah.
He was born on the 12th of December.
Oh my God.
Something to see what people have in common, and they're really big names.
Right.
Wow.
Charlie Parker just had his 100th birthday.
Wow. When is your birthday, by the way?
Next Thursday.
Oh, happy birthday to you.
Birthday to you. Woo.
Yeah, I'll be 71.
You look good.
You do.
I got girl.
Okay, we're gonna have to have a Zoom party.
Yay.
You know what I'm doing for my birthday?
What?
I'm
What?
doing a Hall of Fame. Guess who I'm inducting into my Hall of Fame?
Who?
Billy Davis and Marilyn McCoo.
Oh, I love them.
Frida Payne.
Oh,
Oh, that's history. Wow.
Mickey Stevenson, one of the helping founders of Motown. Congresswoman Diane Watson. She's just a jazz fan, so we're going to make her the biggest jazz fan there. Roy Gaines,
Wow.
great Roy Gaines.
yeah.
So every year we induct maybe 14 to 15 people into our Hall of Fame. And this year we're streaming it.
Oh, this is great. This
Yeah.
is great. And
Congratulations.
It'll be live.
Well, we're gonna tape it on the 16th and air it on the 20th.
Oh, great. Okay. Well,
I want to see that.
we'll be posting it.
Just go to barbaramorrison.com and go, or you just go to Facebook and put in my Facebook page,
Okay.
Barbara Morrison's
Okay.
Performing Arts Center, and then you'll see it. All my shows are there. We've been streaming them all. And for the month of June, we did a lot of tributes. The
Right.
Department of Cultural
Oh, wow.
gave us they gave us a grant, and we paid tribute to Nat King Cole, Sarah, Ella, and Dinah, all the people we could
I
think
love
of.
it. Now, with you started your career at 10 years old.
Wow.
I was singing
No
on the radio.
way.
I sang on the radio, and I sang a Stevie Wonder song.
Which one?
Because I'm only 1 year older than him. Castles in the Sand. Ooh, on the beach, where young lovers meet. Remember that one?
Oh my God.
You can see them
Yeah.
there. Yeah, I sang that on the radio. I didn't win, but guess what I did?
Oh, man, you should have won.
I did win I was the first Black junior miss in the state of Michigan.
Oh my God.
And I won a 4-year scholarship to Eastern Michigan University. So I was real,
Wow.
didn't I?
So yeah, and then now after that, did you move right to LA, or what made you move to LA?
No, my mother was pregnant with my little sister. I'm 17 years older than my little sister. So I stayed home.
Oh, wow.
I stayed home for a little while and helped her.
Mm-hmm.
Then when I turned 21, then I moved to LA. I think I came here permanently when I was 23.
Nice.
23. So
And-
then I joined the Johnny Otis band.
Yeah.
I stayed in that band 21 years.
Oh, wow.
Then I traveled with Doc Severinsen for 7 years from The Tonight Show.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And guess who I traveled with him in the winter months. And guess who I traveled with in the summer months?
Who?
Ray Charles.
Oh! Oh my
No.
God. was amazing.
I love Ray Charles.
Me too.
And then you know what I did?
What?
I went on
What?
for 3 years. I went on the road with the Jazz Crusaders, Joe Sample, Wilton Felder. I had a ball.
Well, you really went after your dream. It sounds like you just went, this is what I'm doing. I'm not going to argue with it.
I did what my father told me to do. When my mother got pregnant, they were separated.
Yeah.
And he was in the hospital.
Oh, wow.
And I went, and I had just won a scholarship, and I went to the hospital to see him. And I said, Daddy, I'm not going to go to school. I'm going to stay home and help Mama with the baby till you get well. He said, do me a favor, baby. He put his hands together like he was praying. He said, do me a favor, baby. And I said, what is it, Dad? He said, let them see you go. I said, let who see me go? He said, let your brothers and sisters see you go, because I'm the oldest. And I said, why, Daddy? He said, because they're not going to let you go, and they don't go. And he was right. All of my brothers and sisters graduated from college.
Oh.
They competed. They were not going to let me go to school without them going too.
I love
He was
that.
right. He was one of the most brilliant men I've ever met. My father was.
Yeah.
But he said, anybody ever asked you what you want to do? And I said, no, Daddy, why? He said, what do you want to do? I said, I want to be a singer just like you, Daddy. He said, you go be a singer.
Wow.
I promise you, I'll take care of your mother. You go be a singer. I'll take care of sisters and brothers. Go be a singer.
Yeah.
So I came to California, and I got in Johnny Otis's band, and they needed somebody to make a CD, not a CD. At those times, they were called LPs.
Yeah, yeah.
So I called my mother and said, Mom, can I make an LP? You can't make an LP. You got to finish college first. They don't have singers without college degrees. And I said, oh, Mom, please. And she said, you do what I tell you to do. So I sneaked, and I made it anyway. And guess what? I sent it home to my dad, and my sister sneaked it to me. And then she called me on the phone. She said, what did you do to Daddy? And I said, what do you mean? She said, he's in the room and he's crying. I said, put Dad on the phone. I said, Daddy, what did I do? I thought you said I could do. He said, you did it, baby. You did it. You did what you said you was going to do. And I started crying, and he started crying. My mother said, I told her to go back to college.
Oh my God. I love it.
And we had a really nice.
That is beautiful.
He was a Barbara Morrison cheerleader from his heart.
Wow.
Yeah. And you know, along with
You
all,
are blessed.
yeah, along with all
You're
that,
blessed.
a broken heart. You know, I got married, and then I only stayed married like 30 days.
Really? Oh, do tell, if you want.
So I called my father and I said, Dad, why didn't you tell me certain things about men and da-da-da? And he said, because I always wanted to be your friend, and I didn't ever want you to come back to me and say, see, Daddy, if you hadn't told me to do that, I'd still be married. He said, that's why God gave you a mind to use your own. He said, you make some good decisions, baby. Look at you. Look at all the kids. Look at your brothers. I had 3 brothers and 2 sisters. He said, look at all of them. He said, you're a good example. Don't doubt yourself. You think good. And I said, okay, Daddy. He said, are we still friends? I said, yeah, we're still friends.
Wow.
that was one of the biggest mistakes I made.
Well, but it was what, a 30-day mistake? Okay. Is there anything in life that you regret?
Kinda. I kind of regret that my mother wasn't more of a cheerleader. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She was very, very white. She was black, but she was white. Her skin was white.
Right.
And I think because she had so many children, that she just kind of, I was dark like my dad. My dad was really dark. So, and my sisters and brothers were light like her. Yeah. So I was kind of like the whipping post. You know what I mean? I regret that I didn't get closer to her before she died. I just felt like, you know, I'm not going to let her beat me up no more. When I got about 19, I said, I'm going to get out of your life and let you be happy. And I did that. And I kind of regret it because in the end, she called me on the phone and she told me, she says, I'm sorry, but you were my firstborn, and I didn't know what to do. I didn't know how to, because I'm 18 years older than my sister,
Wow.
Right.
and 7 years older than my brother, 8 years older, and 10 years older. I'm way older than they are. I was like a little mother.
Yeah.
So when they came along, and that's the way they treat me now. They treat me like I'm their little mother.
Mhm.
And I lost 2 of my brothers, and I kind of regret that I didn't get a chance to love her like I wanted to.
Yeah.
But then, I'll put that in my book and make you buy it.
You better get your book. Do you have one yet?
I'm working on it.
Oh, good.
I
And
got the title. It's called, I forgot the title. It's called As I Recall. I'm going to forget it before I get it out.
No,
Wow.
it doesn't. And you know what you were saying about your the relationship with your mother.
Yes.
And the good, wonderful thing is, though, you had that ending where she did call and you had that conversation. So it had that nice ending.
Well, what
Wow.
happened? It would have been nicer had I been on time, but I called my father and I said, "How's she doing?" He said, "Why don't you come and see?" And I hadn't been home in years. So I got on a plane.
Wow.
I went to the hospital, and when she saw me, she took her last breath. I didn't get to talk to her at all.
Oh.
But she was there. She took her last breath when you saw each other.
And her sister told me later, she said, your mother said, if I hear Barbara coming down that hallway with those cheap shoes on going click, 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 I know I'm going to die.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, wow.
She opened her eyes, she saw me, and she died.
Wow.
She waited for me. She waited for me.
Well, you know what's so interesting with those stories that you tell and have within you? I see now how potent, why your music is so potent, why your performance is so potent, because you put you into it.
You got to have heart. You could be a good singer with no heart, or you could have a lot of heart and be a bad singer. Some people.
That's true.
Some people.
That's that right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You can have a lot of heart. And I tell my students all the time, I teach at UCLA 27 years. This is my 27th year.
Oh, wow.
Did you see American Idol?
Yes.
One of the top 7. The 7th one was my student.
No way.
Real?
Oh, my goodness.
Better believe it. I got her again this year. This is her 3rd year.
Oh.
And she had heart. She had heart. And I tell them all the time, I'm not going to say any names, but one of the students said to me, "Oh, blah, 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 can't sing." And I said, "Blah, blah, blah doesn't need to sing. She's got heart. And she's a marketing genius. And you buy her records because she's like that." I said, What are you, for real, Miss Morrison? Yep. She don't need to sing. You have to have heart. And I know that.
That's true.
I know my
That is so true.
Mm-hmm. I know my experiences they have given me that. They have given me heart. So sometimes I can feel. I just came from Newport this week in California here, and we sold out 2 shows, me and the band. 2 shows. And everybody's so hungry to get out, but it was at a restaurant, it was outdoors, and everybody was 6 feet apart, and da. And I said, "Whoa, this is great." What? And I couldn't believe the amount of people that just wanted to come and see live entertainment.
Yeah.
I really couldn't believe the amount of people that just came to see me. And these were my fans, and I took care of them. I took care of them. And that's what, I know you guys have your fan base, but always remember, I don't care what you do, that people are the same as you, and they like it when you're kind to them, or you acknowledge them, and you remember, even if you don't remember their name. Oh, what's your name again? Just be nice to them, and that'll top singing. That'll top your fan base. If you just, here's one thing my father taught me that I always tell people, and it works. Use everybody you can to get to where you want to go. Just don't misuse nobody. just don't misuse nobody, you know? And people can see your heart. People can tell. They can tell if you're a user or if you're really genuine.
I'm gonna cry.
You know, I truly believe, especially at this time that we're going through.
You're not cry, Gian.
I truly believe that the heart will bring us through this time.
I'm telling you, when all else fails,
True.
and tell yourself every day, you look in the mirror and you say, I'm the baddest singer I know. Make yourself, don't forget you. Don't forget you. You got to take your heart and make you feel good too. Sing the songs you like. Sing the songs you know. Fulfill every put a set. Well, Miss Morrison, can you do so and so and so? It's my mother's birthday. She really liked that song. Then put one in there for you. Give one to the gipper. And you be the gipper. You know what I mean? Sing a song you like. And you know. And sing one that makes sense to you. Maybe if it's to your mother. Maybe it's to your little sister. Or your brother. Or your kid. But sing. Always satisfy yourself.
Yeah. Or maybe it's to like your friends.
There you go.
You can dedicate, because there's some songs you could dedicate to your friends if they.
Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Thank you, Mr. Morgan. Especially to somebody that made you feel good, somebody that, you know, and you want to repay. Yes. They got this program called Cameo. Have you heard of it?
Yes.
No.
Isn't that wonderful?
Oh,
you can call in and have your favorite singer or star call your parent or your friend, like Mr. Morgan say, your friend, and they can talk to them and say happy birthday to them. But you got to pay a price. But it's called Cameo.
It's great.
And they all.
Oh wow!
Stars. Look it up. All kind of movie stars are on that page. So you can.
And you're on there.
And if you pay them, they'll call your mother or they'll call your father and say, "Hi, this is from blah blah blah," and I'm calling you on behalf of Dion and Nicole and David to wish you a Merry Christmas or da 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 da. Isn't that cute?
Wow. I like that.
Huh? What'd you say, Mr. Morgan?
My name is really Devon.
Devon? Okay.
But your last name's Morgan, right?
Yes.
Okay, Devon. Did you hear what I said?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay.
I love it. By the way, do you have a favorite song? I mean, I guess it depends on the moment, but. Yeah.
My favorite song, believe it or not, is to my mother. And it's called, one day it was thundering and lightning in our house and I didn't know what to do. And I was only like 10 years old and I ran and got all the kids and put them in the closet because my mother and father wasn't home and I didn't know what to do. I'd never been in that position before.
Wow.
And then we had a 56 Studebaker and I kept looking out the window to see if they were coming home. And it started raining and I saw the headlights to the car coming in the driveway and I just took off running to the car and started hitting it saying, "Why did you leave us alone? Why did you leave us alone? We're scared. We didn't know what to do." My mom got out of the car and she grabbed me and said, "Baby, I'm sorry. But I had to go pick up your dad from work." And I didn't know she had been doing that all the time every night. She was after we went to sleep, she would go pick him up. And she held me so tight. She said, "Trust me, baby, I'll never let you go. Never, ever." And my favorite song is "Never Let Me Go. Love me much too much. If you let me go, life would lose its touch. What would I be without you? There's no place for me without you. Never let me go. I'd be so lost if you went away. There'd be 1,000 hours in the day without you, I know. Because of one caress, my world was overturned. At the very start, all my bridges burned. By my flaming heart, you'd never leave me, would you? You couldn't hurt me, Could you never let me go? Never let me go. That's my favorite song because
Woo!
my mother
That
said
was beautiful.
Yo, and I met Ray Livingston on a cruise.
Oh,
Wow.
He also wrote a song called Que Sera, Sera. And he wrote a song called Silver Bells, Silver Bells.
Oh.
It's
I remember that.
Remember that? Okay.
It's Christmas time in the city.
I had to turn my phone on. I thought it would turn it off. I thought it was, yeah, he wrote that song too. And I was on a cruise and I was the singer in the band and he came up to me one night and that's how I met him.
Mm.
Yeah.
Wow.
He had a writing partner too, Jay something, and I don't know.
right.
But look him up. He's
Yeah.
look that song up. Google would never let me go.
I love that. I love the songs that he wrote, and that was
Yeah, yeah.
Did you record that on one of your albums?
I did. It's on an album called Feeling Right.
Feeling Right.
And also I did one in with the John Harkins Trio in Australia.
Right.
And I guest starred on his album and I got it on there too. I did it. But the best, Rebecca Parrish. You ever heard of her?
Yes.
Oh, you got to hear her sing it. Oh.
Oh.
When I heard her sing it, I said, well, I better take mine off the market.
Oh, no.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I mean, I've been listening to your songs, and one of my favorite, too, like you mentioned Stevie Wonder at the beginning, All in Love is Fair. Oh, your version of that just slays me.
Thank you. Thank you.
Oh, it's gorgeous.
I liked Steve. Well, you know, we're both from Michigan. Yeah. And he's a good friend. He comes by to see me. He gave me a picture. His brother gave the picture to me, and he signed it. Guess how he signed it?
How?
With his fingerprints.
That's the best.
Everybody laughs when they see that because that was his first big hit, you know, Fingerprints.
Yeah.
But because he's blind, you know, he can't write.
Yeah.
He can't see. So he
Wow.
Oh my God. I just visualized him like putting his fingers on your lips and then pressing it down so you have a mix of both of you. Well, Devon, do you have a question or two that you'd like to ask Barbara?
Yes. I wanted to know, is it hard to sing scat?
No. And one of the
No?
reasons, yeah, I want you to go to YouTube and see my scat video, okay? And it's,
Okay.
I did it at the University of Sydney when I used to teach. I used to go to Australia every year and teach at the University of Sydney. And I did a whole thing on scat. So you go to YouTube and see that.
It's great.
Hey.
You gotta think, get inside the chords and think of what you might feel. And until you do that, until you can come to terms with your own feeling, just use the alphabet, like A, B, C, D.
Okay.
C, D, A, G, H, D, I, H, L, O, N, O, P, Q, R, S, T, W, D, D, you know what?
It's so good.
I know, huh?
If you can't think of anything to say your ABCs, but make sure you get them inside the chords and get in that rhythm. And let's do ba dee da dee do bo be do. You know what song that is? You know what song that is? I was just getting ba dee ba bo dee do dee. A B U C D.
I forgot what song that was.
I love Paris in the springtime. Did you hear me sing it?
Oh yeah.
A B boom dee da be dee do dee do. Ba ba dee do ba be dee bo dee do dee ba be dee do dee bo be ba ba dee do dee. So once you learn the chords, get inside the. Mr. Morgan know what I'm talking about, don't you?
Mr. Devon, What question will you have today?
Well, my question to you, Miss Barbara Morrison, is it?
Uh-huh.
Okay. My question to you is, have you ever actually been on tour once? Like, have you actually got a chance to sing on tour at some point time in your life?
On tour?
Yeah. Have you ever?
All of my life. All of my life, I've been touring almost to every country in the world, and I've had some wonderful experiences. I liked it better when I had my own band, but it didn't bother me to go and play with other bands. I've recorded with the BBC in London.
Nice.
I've recorded with, do you know the Morrisons in Australia? You know, like we call the Marcelluses here in the United States the jazz family, the family of jazz, right? Well, in Australia, they have a family called the Morrisons, and James Morrison's big band. I've been on tour with them all over Australia and all over Europe, and I've played with the French band in Paris and at the Meridian Etoile, and I've done the Palais des Congrès with Ray Charles.
And then I remember you did the Montreux Jazz Festival.
Carlos Santana and Buddy Guy.
And you worked with Etta James, Nancy Wilson, Tony Bennett,
Patty Austin and Angelique Kidjo.
Oh.
With Herbie Hancock and Wayne Shorter and Steve Winwood, and I've just had a ball. So I've been going on tour since I was, I think, 30. But
wow.
The majority of my life, the early young part of my life, until I was 30, I just worked the circuit, what they call the Chitlin circuit. I worked in nightclubs. But that's where I met Etta James and Cleanhead Vincent. Cleanhead was like my father. You go over there and sit down and don't you get up, don't run around these musicians. And I don't want to hear about people with none of them musicians either. And you better not mess with none of them club owners. I called my dad. I said, when did you come to Los Angeles and turn into Eddie Cleanhead Vincent? He was like,
you sounded real.
Go sit down with my wife and don't be flirting around with these boys.
Oh.
Sound real.
The matter is, when I first got to Paris, we stayed at the Holiday Inn. When we got off the bus, there was a big mural. Everybody that was in the jazz festival, Miles Davis, Dizzy Gillespie, Count Basie, you name it. And I looked up there and I said, hey, Johnny, look, that looks like Cleanhead. And he said, Barbara, are you stupid? That is Cleanhead. And I said, well, what's he doing on the side of the mural with Count Basie and Miles Davis? He said, Barbara, don't you know who he is? And I said, I've been working with him for 5 years and I didn't know he was famous. My mother used to ask me, Barbara, are you sure that's not the same man that made Cherry Red? I said, oh no, Mom, he's not famous. He's just an old drunk. I said that to my mother. Well, boy, was I wrong. I didn't know he was so famous. And when Bobo Jackson was 70 years old, he could barely walk.
Wow.
You know what I did? I got a wheelchair.
What?
In every country we went to, I got a wheelchair and I pushed him.
Oh.
And they didn't know about money exchange.
Yeah.
But you know those little wine bottles in your refrigerator when you go to your hotel room?
Mm-hmm.
Every night they would take them out, take them all out and put them in their shoebox. And when we checked out of the hotel, their bill was like $1,000.
Oh.
they had Johnny made them put them all back.
Oh my gosh.
It was so funny. And of course, you know, Johnny was a great artist and he could draw really good. So he made a caricature of them with the bill in their hand and the clerk asking for the money. They're going, who? But I had so many experiences like that. We had fun. Yeah.
what is your biggest joy? Barbara?
Right now, my biggest joy is watching people get joy from doing what they love to do. And make all kind of
I like that. I love that.
yeah.
Me too.
And creating such good things to keep themselves satisfied with the music. You see all kind of creations now. People, my friend gave me a Zoom of a big band. One person was there and one person was there. They were all over the country and they came together and they did Choo Choo Chiboogie. If you go to YouTube and look up Choo Choo Chiboogie with the LA Swing Dance Posse, he's got everybody all over the place, and it worked. It worked. It's so It's giving everybody a chance to be creative musically and visually. They come up with these crazy ideas and they're wonderful, and that's what I like. I like that. Gives me a chance to use my imagination and gives me freedom. Something I wouldn't have done looking for someone else's approval. I can approve of myself.
That's right. That's true.
Well, I tell you, Barbara, you have brought me, it's interesting because today I woke up and I was going, oh my God, sometimes it's hard to get up. And right when you came on, I was like, oh, you just have this, you're a healer. And thank you for being here with us.
Oh, thank you guys for letting me talk. Thank you. I hope you took something away from this. And always think about yourself, okay? When you give two, just remember when you point that finger, there's 4 pointing back at you, or 3 anyway.
Yes.
You have to remember you and be kind to people. That's the biggest thing, kind.
And you have to stay true to your heart.
Stay true to your heart.
Yeah. And but you have to believe in yourself too.
And don't forget thank you. Don't forget the word thank you. I don't care what it is.
Yeah.
I was trying to say I got the true to your heart from the movie Mulan. One of my favorite Disney movies ever.
That's great.
And it's also a song too.
You did?
It's a song.
Oh, wonderful.
The song is called True to Your Heart.
Didn't it?
I'll look it up.
Stevie Wonder might have been involved in that song.
Yes.
Oh, wow. How does it go? Sing a little bit for me.
Okay, I'll sing the chorus. True to your heart, you must be true to your heart. That's when the heavens will part and show the world what you believe in. Open your eyes. Your heart can't tell you no lies. And when you're true to your heart, then you got all you need to make it true.
Woo!
Yeah.
Uh-oh, I'm gonna have to look that up. You inspired me.
Oh, thanks.
All is fair in love. Love's a crazy game. Two people vow to stay in love as one, they say.